country you're representing. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already, on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you be in the loop. I'll let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime, in between time, I'll give some shouts out to the early birds. Starting with Dun, Dun, Dun. What's up, Brian? What it do? Yeah. What it do, what it do, what it do. Okay, I'm gonna let a few more y'all come in, and then it's on. It's on. Well, a lot of news toward the end of the week. A lot of news. So let's go. Right Sound, what's up? King of New England Patriots. Van Gretchen Mitchell, Northern Virginia. Stephen Wren, what's up, Steve? Get a couple more y'all, then I'm going in. Mike Nice, what's up, Mike? I've kept an agenda. G Mac, what's up? Here we go, fam. R. Kelly. A federal judge in Chicago has rejected R. Kelly's request to be moved from prison to home confinement. The judge says she lacked jurisdiction to address R. Kelly's attorney's allegations that the federal authorities conspired to harm him in prison. Earlier this month, R. Kelly's team, they filed an emergency motion for his release, arguing that his life was at risk. They also pleaded for President Donald Trump, your president, to set him free. Now, I never thought that they was going to release R. Kelly to home confinement because, as I said before in my other post, if they allow R. Kelly to go home because he's afraid his life is in danger, then they do that to everybody else. Prison is a dangerous place, and that's what any judge will tell you. That's the first thing that will pop up in their head, like, hey, you know, prison is a dangerous place, and that's, you know, having your life threatened and being in danger is a byproduct of being in prison. And some will go as far as saying committing crimes. If you're in prison, most people are going to say that you deserve to be there because obviously ain't no way possible that this government, you know, would lock an innocent person up. Yeah. So R. Kelly believes that his life is in danger. I think anytime you're actually in prison, if you're in prison, I think your life might be in danger. Well, if you ain't got to be in prison these days. Your life is in danger. It's so damn easy to get killed these days. You can get killed at the grocery store. A simple trip to the grocery store and get killed inside the grocery store because somebody think you skipped the line or you brushed into them or you grabbed an item off the shelf before they grabbed it and they feel like they deserved it. They were gonna get it or whatever, you know? It's the Wild Wild West out here, and you know what road rage does. Neighbors killing neighbors, mothers are killing daughters, and daughters are killing daddies, and daddies are killing sons, sons killing their sisters and brothers and mamas and dads. It's crazy out here, man. It's wild out here for real. So it's very easy to get yourself killed out here in America. Very easy. So we're looking forward to the next move that R. Kelly's team is going to make. Perhaps they'll be able to appeal the judge's decision. I'm not sure if they can appeal it, but yeah, they probably will appeal it. But I think that is going to be a waste of time. I just find it hard to believe that a jury, that a judge will allow someone who has a 30-year sentence to go home free when they're on the front end of that 30-year sentence. Would allow them to be in home detention because their life is in danger. I think what they would do first is just move them to a different prison. And so he got to be careful of that, because right now I think R. Kelly is being held in Illinois. Let me see where R. Kelly's being held. Okay, so R. Kelly is serving his 30-year prison sentence at a federal correctional institute facility in Butner, North Carolina. He's in Butner, North Carolina. Okay, appreciate you, Steve. Yeah, he's in Butner, North Carolina. You know, maybe he can look out and get moved closer to home. He can get moved to an Illinois prison and get closer to home. I think it's insult to injury when they move prisoners out of state to make it harder for their family to visit them. And they do that on purpose. That's why I don't believe that prison is about rehabilitation. Prison is just about punishment. Punishment and money. Getting that money. You know, it's always about that money. They got to get that money, man. They got to get that money. If you're just not joining, fam, the judge has denied R. Kelly's request to be removed from prison and to be to have his time served at home. His lawyers want his conviction vacated. Yeah. R. Kelly has been serving 30 years in prison for racketeering, sex trafficking since 2022. He is imprisoned in the Federal Correctional Institute facility in Butner, North Carolina. The motion for release came a claim that R. Kelly's life is in imminent danger. However, Judge Martha Packold denied the motion June 19th, according to a ruling obtained by USA Today, saying her court doesn't have the jurisdiction it needs. R. Kelly's attorneys alleged that after being placed in solitary confinement settings earlier this month, prison staff provided him an overdose quantity of medication compared to his normal anxiety and sleep medication dosages, leading to his hospitalization. They also claimed that R. Kelly was sent to Duke University Hospital and then removed allegedly against medical advice by law enforcement officials, as he was also trying or seeking treatment for blood clots. So let's get this straight. He was sent to Duke University Hospital and then removed allegedly against medical advice by law enforcement officials, as he was also seeking treatment for blood clots. So they're making unauthorized moves. They're moving his body from one place to the other against law enforcement, against the medical advice by law enforcement officials. What's that about? They say no move, no move. I'm starting to see things R. Kelly's way. I'm starting to lean toward, that's very suspicious when you're not supposed to be moved and all of a sudden somebody trying to move you around. It's easy to take somebody's life when you have stewardship over their movement. It's not hard to take somebody out in prison. Those blood clots are a serious thing. And if he really does need treatment for blood clots, they better get to it sooner than later. Because blood clots are a silent killer. So many people have, died from complications of blood clots. If R. Kelly were to be released from prison to home confinement, despite separate 30-year and 20-year sentences handed down by New York and Chicago courts, every convicted murderer, rapist, and terrorist will have a newfound shot at freedom. This is what I was saying. That's the response from the prosecutor. They're gonna be like, nah, man, we can't do that. We do it for him, we gotta do it for everybody else. So that's a precedent that they do not want to establish. No, they don't want to do that. So even if they really thought his life was in danger, they don't want to do that. But what they are going to have to do is they're going to have to offer him some protection. See, one of the best ways to fight the system, to fight the powers that be, to fight somebody who's bigger and badder than you, or at least you think is bigger and badder than you, is to expose them. That's why a lot of times when stuff go on in these small towns, they become unglued when outsiders start poking their nose in their business. They do not want outsiders around them. They do not like outsiders because outsiders present a threat to the status quo. A lot of times when outsiders come in and they see something going on, they're like, hold on, that ain't right. That's not right. And they know outsiders will become vocal. So they don't want those vocal critics. They want you to suffer in silence. And people that live in small towns are too afraid oftentimes to come forward because they know the damn sheriff brother is the judge and his wife works in the permits department. His son is the school superintendent and a deputy. Like they got these little small towns on lock. Oftentimes, these smaller towns are ran by one family and they got it on lock. And so the moment you go and say something to anybody, I mean, people still got, when you live in a small town, you can live on a farm and be whispering because you're afraid that the person this family that run the town can hear everything and they see everything. So people are afraid and they like to keep it that way. But the moment you expose them, then you level the playing field. You have to expose them. That's how you level the playing field. So if you're in one of those small towns, if you work for somebody who got almighty power, expose them if they're doing wrong. If they're doing you wrong, expose them. One thing about bullies and crooks, people who are corrupt, they fear exposure more than they fear anything. They fear exposure. Expose them. You couldn't pay me to live in a small town unless I ran the small town, unless my family ran the town. That's the only way. My family, my close friend, I'm talking close friend of years, that's the only way I would live in a small town. We'd have to have it on lock. Small towns oftentimes are not interested in growth. They're not interested in forward progress. They're interested in being stuck in time. Many of these small towns are like time capsules. Now, aesthetically, some of these small towns, it's beautiful to see these landmarks, right? It's beautiful to see these historical buildings and things like that. It's beautiful. It adds a really nice touch of character to the town. But beyond that, oftentimes, there is no growth. There's no social growth whatsoever. They like things to stay just like it is, man. One light, one traffic light, that's it, on the main street. At one light. Try to put up two, it's gonna be an argument. It's gonna be a fight, shootout. Sundown. High noon, yeah, that's when the shootouts take place. High noon, shootout. Charles Utley, what up? Black Gossip. What's up, Kim Williams? Tavares Gray. Give a few more shout outs, fam, and I'm gonna shut it down. What's up, Roosevelt French Jr.? Is that Tasherney? Lysandra. What's up, Lysandra? Waterfall. Shh. John. Andrea Thompson. What's up, Andrea? Victoria Moss. Victoria Moss. Sugar Shack. What up, Sugar Shack? Larry. Y'all turn that cap lock off, fam. Turn your cap lock off. That made me think you're hollering at me, It's like you're screaming at me. When I see people typing in all caps, especially something long, all I see is them doing like this. Turn the cap lock off for me, fam. Leroy Lee, what up? All right, fam, that's my time. I appreciate y'all joining the live. R. Kelly, for the time being, has had his motion to be allowed to spend some time at his home in confinement denied. judge says that she don't have the jurisdiction to make that call. She does not have the jurisdiction to make the call under the influence of R. Kelly life being in danger. So I definitely will, I'm gonna keep y'all up to date on R. Kelly. So until next time, fam, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.